this together. So I hope you all enjoyed your 4th of July weekend. Let me push this back a little bit. So, yes, you all. So I hope you all enjoyed your 4th of July weekend. I did. One of my cousins got married, and so it was just such a joyous occasion, you all. So yeah, so my plans were to go and do the podcast after the wedding and the reception and all of that stuff. And I was like, shoot, I was just having a good time being around my whole entire family. And I said, well, okay, I'm gonna do it Saturday. And I'm like, well, no, Saturday, um, people are going to either start their barbecue or just relax. And I said, well, I'll just wait and do it Monday. So yes, you all, I am coming to you live from Waxahachie. And so I'm coming live to you from their latest, newest community, Myrtle Creek. So they have a total of, let me get this right, one, two, three. So they have like a little under five or right at five builders in there. And I do have a home that I am going to connect to this video really soon, you all. So y'all let me know if y'all can hear me because I don't want to talk too loud, but I want to be sure that you all hear me. So hello everyone. Thank you so very much for being here. For those of you all who are new, my name is Latosca Asberry. I'm a real estate agent and author of Home Sweet, New Home, you all. And so today we're going to dive into, they're not hot topics, but I feel that they are important when it comes to new construction as well. So we're going to talk about builders and their escalation causes, clauses, and appraisals. So yeah, so let me not say we. Um, People don't think about escalation clauses and appraisal over here on the new side. So if you are the one that is, let me see. So if you have been looking at new homes, I have been educating you all on buying new constructions and then new construction homes. And today we're going to talk about escalation clauses and appraisal. So let me go ahead and give you my disclaimer. So I am coming to you from the great state of Texas, and I am also licensed in the great state of Texas. And my information might be universal, but please take this information to your state and see if these topics that I've been talking about lately, if they apply for your state. So today we're going to break down two important things every new construction buyer needs to know: builders and their escalation clauses, appraisals when buying new. So there are appraisals when it is buying new. So what's happening? So in today's market, especially with material and labor cost rising, builders sometimes add escalation clauses to their contracts. So that was a really big thing down here in the DFW area, especially during the pandemic. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They were the head honchos in charge during the pandemic. And it was one of those things, take it or leave it. We got somebody else. You don't like this, we got somebody else that's going to um, pretty much buy this. So they don't care about waiting on the list and the price of the home jumps up. Because, yeah, it was a long, some lists were very long. And once you got on the list, the home, let's say, that the price of the home was 350. Well, once your name came up to the top of the list, that 350 turned into 415. Well, like I've been telling you all, most of them are not going to sit down and do the education piece with you. That's where I come in and give you the education piece on that. So we're going to go on. So it means the price you agree to at signing may go up before closing if the builder cost increase. It says, what are builders doing? Unpredictable supply prices. So think about the lumber, the concrete, and the drywall. And don't forget the tariff, because some of them get their lumber. I got to verify, but some of the builders get their lumber from Canada. Shortages and inflation, and they want to make sure that their profits are not wiped out if expenses spikes during the build. What buyers should watch out for? Always read your contract. Always read. Now, me as a real estate agent now, we can't advise you on their contracts, because then we'll be acting as attorneys, and that's not what we do. And so, like, if you have a question or something like that, you can get back with the community sales manager, or you can hire an attorney and they would go over the contract with you. But like I've always said, they make up their own rules, they have their own contracts, and they have their own sets of lawyers. And so you want to know exactly what triggers price increase. Is there a cap, or can the price go up without limits? How much notice will you get if the price goes up? Can you walk away if the price is more than you can afford? And let me give you my pro tips. Don't sign anything that you do not understand. Work with a real estate professional like myself who can advocate for you and explain what the clause um, is. And again, we can, read over it together before it's like, explaining. That would be where the lawyer will come in. So let's get on over to appraisals and new construction. Why do they matter? Even after the price is set, your lender will send out an appraisal before closing to confirm the home's fair market value, the builder's price versus the appraisal price. So with escalation clauses, your sales price could be higher than other similar homes sold for. If your house appraises lower than the contract price, your lender might only loan up to the appraised value. So what that is saying is, so say the list price is again 350. Well, when it appraised, it might appraise for 370. And I'm just playing with numbers, y'all. Just playing with numbers. So it might appraise for 370. Okay. Well, the lender is only going to give you up to, 350. Let's say that the lender is going to get, that's your max. It's 350. Well, you're going to have to make up that extra. You're going to make up that difference to reach that 370, or go back and ask the builder and the lender, hey, what can we do to make this um, right? And what could happen next? You might have to pay the difference out of your pocket. You might have to renegotiate or risk losing your deposit. Because again, once you start putting down the earnest money deposit, you don't get that back. The appraisal could delay if there's a big gap. Okay, appraisal tips for buyers. Discuss appraisal contingencies with your agent before you sign. So yes, so be sure that this is why you need to come to us. So therefore, we can already say, well, oh yeah, we know Builder A. Yeah, this is their contingencies if this happens, and this, and this is what we need to do. Then it says, ask the builder what happens in case of an appraisal shortfall. Every builder has a different policy. So yeah, so the builders will have different policies. And here's another tip: budget for an appraisal gap just in case. But we're praying and hoping for a smooth transaction. So we hope and praying that the house will praise for the list price with the builders. So unique to builds, custom upgrades, and premiums. You select favorite lots, designer finishes may not reflect in the appraisal. And in fast changing markets, appraisals often lag behind rising builder prices. So again, get with a real estate professional. Um, Go over the contingencies. Basically, just go over the whole packet before you sign it. So I'm going to give you my closing advice. Read, which is again, read every word of your contract. Don't be afraid to ask hard questions about escalation clauses. Protect your budget. Keep in close contact with your lender to understand how appraisals may affect your down payment or your loan amount. And of course, always have a real estate agent by your side. An experienced agent can help you save thousands in stress. Because I won't know. I didn't know that. And see, that's why I come in here to do the education piece. Because I don't want people to be like, I don't know. I didn't know that was going to happen. No one said that because, you know, they get it's they bring you in with the interest rate. They bring you in uh, with the closing cost assistance and things like that. You know, it's to help you all to get into the house, but you want to know what the contracts and things are saying. Is it some financial contingencies? Will my price go up outside of me doing upgrades and things like that? And you know, and I talk about it in my book about the upgrades. Just be careful not to overvalue your home. All right, you all. And so this is my main purpose of writing my book, Home Sweet New Home. It is to educate buyers who are interested in buying a new construction home. The first chapter is the importance of having a real estate agent. Chapter 6, or 6 chapters, so it's a small book. It's a really, really small book. I made sure to get to the meat and potatoes. And so chapter 6 is about It's about financing. So, so I'll talk about FHA, conventional, VA, USDA, down payment assistance, closing cost assistance, and those programs are still out here, you all. So don't let people deter you away from, oh, well, they said down payment assistance programs are not out there. They are out there. They are still out there, um, you all. And so you can get this wherever books are. So it's a really interesting book, you all. So I leveraged a lot of my relationships that I have with community sales managers to help me write this book. And before we get out of here, let me see if we can hear from a community sales manager about escalation calls and appraisals. Let me see if she will come in here. Caroline, I would like for you to talk about escalation clauses, and oh, you in here?
I'm here, yes ma'am.
I'm
here, what can I help you with?
Yeah, my podcast is over builders and their escalation clauses and appraisals.
Yes ma'am.
Can you see this one?
Now we scoot up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have the lovely Caroline with us. And
Yes.
we're going to talk about escalation clauses and appraisals dealing with new builds.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So, do you all have escalation?
We do not.
So, no.
Not here.
Not here. Not this particular builder. They do not have escalation clauses. So, what has your experience has been with escalation clauses other places?
Typically, if the lumber or items go up a certain amount, which is 25%, that per contract, that builder can typically raise the purchase price even after you sign the contract because you've been able to purchase price escalation clause to go into effect. It's part of the clause in the contract. It can go up by 25%. So if your purchase price was, $100,000, it would go up by $25,000. So for every $100,000, it goes up about $25,000 typically.
Ooh, so you have to be sure when you walk into the builder's door. You have to be sure to ask that question: do you have any escalation clause?
And you would want an experienced realtor as yourself to go over the contract. A lot of buyers don't know how to read a contract. It's too technical legal terms, so they wouldn't know to check and where it would be.
Oh, okay. Because I remember that was very prominent during the pandemic.
Absolutely.
The escalation clause. Do you know if builders still use those?
Yeah, many people do. Sure do. Absolutely. And that can actually prevent people from qualifying. So if you're maxed up 500 and that price goes up to 550, 575, they can no longer afford the home, and you lose your earnest money at that point.
Ooh, then I've been telling y'all, once you fork over, if it's a percentage or a flat fee, you do not get that money back. So you want to make sure that you see the contract first and see if there's any escalation clauses. Y'all know what I'm talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then appraisals. I know we had a brief conversation over that about appraisals.
Sure. So with appraisals, if the home does not make market value and it's considered that there's an overcharge of 5, 10, 15,000, VA loans in particular can be quite challenging at times. And if the house goes into tidewater, which means it doesn't appraise, that the buyer would be responsible for that amount. And it typically would be $10,000 or more.
Wow.
Yeah.
So $10. So that means you have to really be careful on your budget. So not to go all the way up. So if your budget is 500, you better try to find something right up under 500, just in case there's an appraisal gap. So if there's an appraisal gap, can I back out? But do I still lose my earnest money?
No, you will lose your earnest money if it does not appraise. The good thing is a lot of reputable builders will reduce the price as a deal breaker to not lose the sale. but there's no guarantee. So it's negotiation at that point.
So you got to go back to the table
Mhm.
and renegotiate the price. So it sounds like it's a lot of prayer you got to be doing.
Absolutely, it is, and that's why it's really important. You're
Wow.
working with trusted people all the way across the board. Absolutely, people that you know, people that you trust, which is why your business is so prevalent on referrals. Mhm.
Wow, because
Yeah.
you can go in and pay. Is the earnest money what 3% or like
It's usually 3% or a flat fee of 5 or 10,000.
So yes, you
Mhm.
all. So you don't want, not in this type of economy. You don't want to go in and lose $5,000 and $10,000.
Sometimes it's up to 20, depending on the location. Sure.
Wait, so yes, you all. So you heard it first. See, we're giving you education around the escalation clauses. So some builders are still using them. Some builders have let that policy go, but the appraisal stands for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
builders. So it's no particular builder. So you really, how can, I mean, is there a kind of way, come on with us. Is there a kind of way that you can avoid escalation? I mean, not escalation, appraisal gaps?
It's really knowing the area that you're going into, like knowing well-versed, built-up towns. So typically, no town is foolproof, but new areas are just coming up. Like the small towns are just starting to grow. Those are areas where the appraisals tend to have issues. So just an up-and-coming area, just with 1 or 2 builders, 3 builders coming in. You just want to make sure that they're not overcharging.
Okay.
And check your local area to make sure that they're within that price point.
Oh, okay. So when is it the best time to come in to try to avoid that gap?
I'd say during any time of year is fine. It's just really knowing your average market price.
Okay.
If that local area is selling at $450, $475, and you see a house that you love for $599, you might want to look at it to make sure, and it's probably a very good chance that it is okay, but you always want to make sure. Take a look at the local houses, the household,
Okay.
and then just making sure you know the market. But good realtors know, they know, so
Okay.
that's how you're involved with the trusted realtor.
Okay.
It's important.
So yes,
Mhm.
so so me and you would have to sit down and research the area, because the one thing we want to avoid is the appraisal gap, especially
Mhm.
if you at the top end of your budget. And most buyers are, when they come in, they're most of the time they're at the top edge of their budget.
Sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like there's no more room to raise that budget, and so you want to make sure that you get in and make sure, sometimes you might not have an appraisal gap, and sometimes there might be, and you just want to just put everything on the table. Is there anything else that
I really think just the value of using someone that you know and trust as far as your realtor. It's important with the market today. It's important that you trust the people that you have in your network, and they're actually treating you as part of their family without any thought of a sale or trying to get a deal. It's really about relationships and genuinely wanting the best for that person and treating them as a part of your family. And I know this lovely lady, we've been working together for a while. She will do the right thing above and beyond, and you need people who do that. So I think that's probably 10% of the market, and there's great people everywhere. But when you know someone, you're trusting them with their podcast, and you're trusting the information that they're feeding you, that really tells you a lot about their quality of their effort, of they're actually really trying to help you without any motive.
Right.
So that's a huge precursor to knowing, hey, this person could be a very well trusted source. And then they actually do have a license. They are working with TREC with the state of Texas, because I recently had a realtor who came in, presented himself as a realtor to negotiate a deal, and was actually not a realtor. And I checked him on TREC. He was not licensed. Presented himself to be a realtor with a business card. Negotiated the deal. Had a broker helping him out, I guess. But we can't sell to homes without realtors. So you want your realtor to actually have a license. On the TREC website, you can search if they're licensed, and it's an important deal.
Yes.
It's a big deal.
Yes.
People work hard to get their license, and I work inactively as a builder rep, but going to school to get my license, it was quite a situation. I went twice to learn it well. And there is no amount of money that can be spent on the value of knowing someone who's standing by your side, whether you buy or not,
Right.
as your trusted resource as a realtor, because they really do have your best interest at heart. They're working for free every day just to do the
Right.
right thing based on passion.
Right.
And they're not trying to push you to do anything but to help you. So I feel there's a huge value in that, personally.
Right.
Mhm.
And we also had another conversation that, because some of you buyers think that, oh, well, I can get a better deal without a realtor.
Uh-huh.
I found the answer. No, you cannot.
Right.
No, you cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot get a better deal at all, you all. So come on down here. So we're down here in Myrtle Creek, inside of Waxahachie. This is their latest community. Come on down here and see us and see once I get this video uploaded of this beautiful model home that I am in, the Jackson.
That's right.
I'm going to connect it to this, and I'm gonna put Caroline's information at the bottom as well, you all. This is a beautiful what is this is a beautiful master plan community, you all. And you know what? I can probably flip it over. Is it still raining out there?
No, I think it dried up. I think it stopped.
Let's see. Yes, you all. If y'all can see right outside of here, this is where the lazy river is going to be. And then up towards the front is too far back, but up towards the front is the lake. And I don't want to say that's Lake Waxahachie.
It's a private area with water. It's a small lake we have
Oh,
outside
okay.
here. Yeah.
A private lake for the residents only. That's why y'all need to come on and get down here, you all. They have a lot of stuff waiting on you all. Well, I cannot wait to see you in the next episode. Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am. We sure do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well,